What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to another TCM live stream. How's everyone doing today? Hoping you can hear me okay. Let me know if there are any audio problems, but I think I managed to get this going for yet another Wednesday stream. Good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. Hamza is the first in chat today, finally, as you put it. Congrats. Yeah, it's always a race to get to first. AD Penguin, hello, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Now, does that AD stand for Active Directory? Because I notice your Penguin logo there. It's giving me some Linux vibes too, so I like it. I like the name. Will you show us live hacking? No, not this week. I'm going to be doing some. I guess it's a forensics challenge on TryHackme. It's one of the recent challenges from the other Friday ago that it came out. So that's what we're going to try today. But maybe catch us next week. Maybe if Alex or Andrew Bellini will be on, they'll do maybe some web hacking or exploit development. Who knows? We have such a wide variety of fun content on our team here. But I like to do some of the blue team stuff on these lives. Hello, Griffin. How's it going? Lap Station, welcome. So many people in chat. So as we usually do these things, we're going to do a bit of just a bit of a funnel in Q&A, welcome everyone kind of thing. And then we'll get into the TryHackme box for the week that we're going to do. And then if we have time at the end, hopefully we can get through it. We'll have some more Q&A. I just realized very recently, because I got a text reminder, I have a dentist appointment in about an hour from now. So, or I have to leave in about an hour from now. So it's going to be not a short stream, but I'm going to try to wrap it up before the top of the hour, just so I can get to that. How's everyone doing? I'm just scrolling through the chat now. Hello. Yeah, Britt is having some trouble, but she's still here with us today. Discard packets don't block. They still see you. Sure. Yep. I'm not sure what exactly we're referring to there, but sure. I concur. I'm just watching one of your courses now. Awesome. Which course is it? Is it on the TCM Academy or is it on YouTube? Let us know. Sir Kit, welcome. One of our regulars, another one of our regulars. Nice to see you all in chat today. So many people. Good question here from Emrit. How much should a SOC analyst know or be familiar with Active Directory? Yeah, I think it's very important. I think Active Directory is still going to be among us in many enterprise environments for a long time. Even we're seeing this lift and shift approach where we're putting Active Directory in the cloud. So it's not really going anywhere, at least not maybe in the near future. So I definitely think having a good understanding of Active Directory is crucial for many medium, even small, and particularly large enterprise environments these days, which is actually kind of a good segue for one of the announcements that I was asked to make here for good reason. Let me pull this up. So speaking of your question here, some good resources to get familiar with Active Directory. Specifically, we have next week, next Friday, Heath is doing his defend and attacking, or attacking and defending Active Directory live training. This is a fantastic event if you were able to take it. I think we have only a few spots left. Like I said, it's next week on May 30th. So the clock is kind of ticking if you want to join the live training. If you have that, organizational budget, if you want to do some more learning as we go out through the year. We run this class a few times a year, I'd say. and I've taken it last year. And I'm not just shilling it. I can genuinely say this is a fantastic live training or live class. Whether you're again on the penetration testing side, you want to figure out, hey, what are the common misconfigurations or vulnerabilities in Windows authentication, for example, and how can we take advantage of that in a more penetration testing environment, or how can we detect and hunt for these things and ultimately harden and defend against them. So that's where I really found value from this training, is from the defensive aspect as well, because it's really you're introduced to attacks, and then you're sort of introduced on how to hunt and defend them. So thought I would mention that. Again, it's going to be next week, so kind of a good segue there for the training. Also, the other announcement to make is that keep your eyes open on Friday. We are coming into the Memorial Day weekend, and historically, we typically do we run a sale over that weekend. So I'm not confirming or denying anything, but I think there might be something happening this weekend in regards to that. So stay tuned. I missed the last couple of streams. Glad to see you. Yeah, welcome back. It's been a little bit. Yeah, I haven't been on for a little bit either. So it's mostly been Alex and Bellini in the past few weeks anyways. So good to be reunited. All right. We'll jump into the box shortly again. Hopefully we're able to wrap it up before the top of the hour, and I gotta hop off. But we'll still do some more Q&A before we jump in. Which will you cover today? We are going to do, we'll get it started shortly, but let me just introduce the room if anyone wants to follow along. We're going to do one of the recent challenges from TryHackme here just a few days ago, called security footage. And so the link should be going around in chat. I will drop it in a moment if need be, but it's just called security footage. It's a free room, free challenge, and it appears to involve some kind of digital forensics on a pcap or a network capture. So I'm looking forward to digging into that. Brit should stop sending me phishing links. Yeah, same here. Let me see if I can drop that in chat. There we go. What is your opinion on thrunting? Get that word out of my chat. I swear. I have a great opinion on threat hunting, but not thrunting. I don't like that word. It's like the word moist, it just makes me feel certain ways. I'm new here and I love your content. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, we love putting a variety of different content out. Again, whether you like the web app stuff or network pen testing or exploit development, even things like low-level assembly. It's been awesome to see how we have different people on the team that can provide information in different areas. Can I enroll in PJBT even if I'm new to this field? Yeah, I mean that's kind of the purpose of the PJBT and the accompanying course. Is it's kind of this like start from zero kind of approach, right? Even if you don't jump right into the course on the academy, we have some long form kind of lessons and courses even on the YouTube channel itself, right? And so you can definitely start there if you'd like, and then as you get sort of more comfortable, more experience, you can jump straight into the course where you're really going to be learning and picking up everything you need in order to ace that exam, right? Everything you need is covered in the course, and so it's really purpose built for that. All of our courses are really, so you can't really go wrong. In the fact that it being a junior penetration tester cert is right up your alley, right? Kind of the best way to learn, in my opinion, is again to take any kind of junior-oriented course if you're just getting started in the field. We'll really sort of guide you through, all the prerequisites and everything you would need in order to get a good grasp on whatever it may be you're learning. Doesn't have to be PJPT, but any kind of beginner-oriented course, I would say. It's hard to go wrong unless it's just bad quality, right? Hello, I just finished my cybersecurity master's program. Congrats. That's awesome. I'm sure that was no easy feat, so congrats on that. Any sneak peeks on the SOC 200 course? Maybe I could pull something up. I'm just afraid I'm going to show too much, so maybe not. But it is coming. We have some other stuff, a lot of stuff actually at the moment going on, kind of in the background, or just other things happening. So it is pretty much a crunch time here, trying to get a lot of stuff done at the moment. And so it is coming soon. I know people hate that word soon, but rest assured, I think this would be really cool. All right. I fear as if I wait too long, I'm going to run out of time for for the challenge. So let's get into that. Let me try to take one more question before we jump in. Yeah, when is SOC 201 dropping? Soon, I promise. It's a big course, and so there's still a lot to go through and to sort of QA and make sure it is polished and nicely put together. There's still some modules and sections and labs to be put together for that, so it is coming. Really focusing on making it super complete and quality over time. And again, there's other stuff going on at the moment, but it is coming soon, and it's turning out to be really cool in my opinion so far. All right, let us jump into this forensics challenge. Assuming it's a forensics challenge, based on the description here. Medium box here says it'll take 45 minutes, which might be perfect. It's 12:15 right now, so let's see if we can get it done in that time. So we just have one flag to answer, which is interesting. We're not sort of guided through in this case. And the story goes, someone broke into our office last night, but they destroyed the hard drives with the security footage. That's cool. Can we recover the footage? Note using the attack box. No, we won't use the attack box. So I've downloaded the task files already, and we can take a look at what they give us. All right. Should be in downloads, and it's just a pcap. Okay. All right, so we're given a packet capture file of this security footage, which apparently has been deleted by the attacker. So we'll see what we have. So I'm going to open this up in Wireshark. All right, let me try to zoom in and see what we're working with here. Just over 1,000 packets, so that's not too bad, hopefully. I always like to look at the capture file properties, see what we're working with, right? So it looks like these were captured back in 2022. The room just came out, so I guess it took a little bit to publish this challenge. So again, yeah, we have just over 1,000 packets to go through. But what protocols are we looking for? So I'll go under, I always like to use the statistics when I'm first sort of introduced to a pcap, because again, there's no point in trying to like scroll through packet by packet trying to figure out what's going on. So I like to see, hey, what protocols are being used in this pcap, right? And so in this case, Uh, IPv4, mostly, well, pretty much all just TCP packets. Looks like one of those is an HTTP packet. That's interesting. So we'll definitely take a look at that, especially just because it's unencrypted, right? And see if that can help us out. But I'm assuming there's some kind of security footage in this packet capture, right? It's kind of the point of the challenge. And so I'm assuming that's what all these TCP packets are, that hopefully we'll be able to, I guess, take a look at, right? What we could do is maybe just for that low-hanging fruit, if we look at to export objects, if we can get the footage directly from some of these packets. I don't think we'll be able to, because again, there's only that one HTTP packet and there's no file contained in it. It looks like it's this one right here. And so what I could do is just use the HTTP filter there just to pull back that single packet. And then I like to right click, follow HTTP stream, and see what the actual packet contents are. So it looks like it's just making that request or a GET request to this IP address on port 8081. You have the user agent here. Nothing particularly interesting about this, right? It's just making a request, but where's the response? I'll look at the conversations too. Yeah, so we just have this IP talking to this IP address. But where's the response? I guess it just moved over to this TCP conversation. So if we follow the TCP stream, there we go. Now we're getting something. Okay. So again, we're making this request, and it looks like the server or whatever this is responding with some content. Appears to be an image. So we have a JPEG, and we have sort of that, you know, a bunch of gibberish that I'm assuming this is a photo, some kind of JPEG image that was transferred in response. But it looks like quite a few packets are in the stream here. So if we keep going, yeah, it looks like it's just a bunch of images. Yeah, so each of these packets, right, 58, 56, it looks like all of these are part of different images, and they sort of span multiple packets. I'm assuming that's everything in the list, right? If we go to the last one here, yeah, that's like the last packet we have. So it looks like our answer is going to be contained in that stream. And so we need to figure out how to, I guess, extract those images from that stream, which I can think of a few probably easy ways to do that. But I'll also leave it up to chat if anyone has any ideas that we can take a look at. But just to confirm that I'm not crazy here, let me zoom back up. I want to find where that conversation started. Yeah, so it's this one. If I follow that stream again and zoom in, we can see that we have this JFIF header here for this file. And if I were to do just a lookup, I have Firefox file signatures. If I just search for JPEG, right? So looking for these sort of magic bytes, or like the file signatures or file headers that are appended to each image. Again, we could see that from the stream itself. I can figure out where that is. We notice that in the response, the content type is set to a JPEG image, right? And we can also see this file header here as JFIF. And if we take a look at our table here, very handy table on Wikipedia, that maps the different like image file types to what their file headers look like. In this case, it looks like we have that JFIF, or in hex, we can see FF8D, FFE0, and this sort of header goes on and on. And if we find this, again, this sort of refers to a JPEG image, right? If a image interpreter program sees that file header, it knows, hey, I'm dealing with a JPEG image here. How can I render that to the screen, right? So what we might be able to do here is copy this stream, because I want to verify if we can actually make an image from this. So how do you do this? If I go to copy hex dump or hex stream, I think that's gonna. So what I could do also, I think, if I follow the TC stream again, I can change the format here to something like raw. And now we're just getting sort of the hex stream of that request, and then the subsequent responses that should, in theory, contain those images, right? So a bunch of gibberish here. But we should be able to find that file signature header somewhere in here. So what I'll do is just copy this first stream here. And I'll copy as a hex stream. And then what I can do is head over to Cyberchef and just paste in that stream that we copied. I'm not getting the command, so how can I analyze it through Wireshark? Well, if you have Wireshark installed, you can like just open it from your app drawer, and then from here you can go File, and then Open and find that pcap. Or you can just run, if I go back up here, you can just run Wireshark and then provide the name of the pcap that you want to open up. So there's multiple ways you can start up Wireshark and open up the packet capture. All right. Head back over to Cyberchef. I'm going to paste in that stream that I copied. All right, so we have this long list here. And then what I think I can do is go from hex, and then we're basically getting the same information that we got. But what I want to do is sort of chop off this front bit here. And so I'm going to look for the start of that. So we have that weird Y0YA. Let me zoom in here. So I'm going to look for the start, like bytes of this string here. So that's going to be FFD8, FFDB. And I'll try to find that in this input here. FFD8, FFDB. Nope. FFD8. There's multiple different kind of headers. This is the one we were looking at. Yeah. So FFD8, FFE0. And I think we already have that highlighted. Yeah, so this is the start of that image, right? This is the very first sort of bytes in that header that are telling us that, hey, this is a JPEG image. And so what I should be able to do is chop off all of this beginning part here, right? Like that was part of the response, which is not part of displaying that image. So if I take that out, now we're just starting off with that header, right? So what I should be able to do through Cyberchef is to click on this magic button here to actually render out that image. And there we go. All right, so yeah. So if I render out the image and zoom out, it looks like we have half of an image, right? And I'm assuming that's because the image is also carried over to some of these other packets, right? So if I guess we're going to grab this next one for 10. All right, that was the next sort of response there. If I do the same thing and copy as a hex stream, I can just paste that in and then clean it up again. So let me zoom back in. I'm going to find where that next sort of header starts. Actually, no, it won't do that. We just need to paste in the remainder of this stream. I think we're getting a little bit more, right? So now we have flag, and so we could keep going on and on, right? So if I try to grab the next packet here, do the same thing, copy the hex stream, we're slowly building out this image, right? And it looks like it says flag. So I'm assuming once we can reconstruct this image, we'll have the flag, right? And so obviously we don't want to be doing this in Cyberchef manually, right? Like packet by packet. That's going to take forever. There's like over 1,000 packets in here, right? But I just wanted to sort of, as a proof of concept, see if we can actually make that happen, right? So it looks like we're on the right track here. We're able to identify that, hey, this packet capture contains the JPEG headers in some of the packets, and so can we extract those out, right? And again, there are different ways you can do that. There's quite a few tools, actually, forensic kind of file carving tools that we can use, or different file recovery tools. So that's going to make our lives a ton easier, and I don't even think we're going to need CyberChef for anything. So go back to the packet capture and grab a drink. Hex header, yeah, you got it. So that's what we're basically doing. We're just grabbing out those hex streams from that conversation and then, saying, hey, where are all the images? And so that's exactly what we can do now. So let me find the entire conversation here. It started with that GET request, to recall. So if I follow the whole TCP stream, we're going to have basically all of the packets now in this one conversation. And so from here, I'll change it to display from ASCII. And then we can go back to raw, where again, we're getting, we're getting all of those hexadecimal values, right? And what I can do, there should be a way to save this. Control S. Oh, it's down here. Yeah, so I can click Save As and just save out this entire conversation, again, between these two systems over this TCP connection. Just save that entire thing as a raw kind of file, right? So just call this raw.txt. And now back in the terminal, I'll open up a new tab with Control Shift and T and make sure we have that raw text file. Right, so there we go. If you run a file on it, we just get data. If I make sure we copied everything. Yeah, so it looks like it's rendering out as the actual ASCII content, which is fine. So a few different tools, like I said, can really speed up this process here and actually carve out those images from, now that we have everything in a file, we can carve it out directly from this. We might even be able to run it against the pcap itself and save us some steps there, but just sort of doing it step by step here. And now I'm in Kali Linux, so there should actually be some forensic tools in here that we can use. If I run the apropos command, we can actually just search for something that we want to do, and it can tell us on our machine by reading sort of the man pages or the help pages if any tools match our search terms, right? So if I search for recover or carve, for example, looks like we get nothing. But again, if I search for recovery, we have some results. Recover. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So the scalpel tool is, I think, a perfect use case for this. Why you didn't remove the header for the second packet? The second packet actually didn't have that header. It was only at the start of that image, right? So where was it? I think it was 8. So if I follow this stream, I'll change it back to ASCII. There. So we're going to have the file header at the beginning of the image. But if I scroll down to that next packet, so packet 10 in this case, it's just a continuation of that image, right? So we're not actually going to specify the header again because it's just part of the same image. It's just split up into multiple packets due to like size, right? So we didn't need to remove anything from the subsequent packets as we sort of built out that image because they were all tied to the same sort of image. And that's what this scalpel tool is going to help us do. If I just look up scalpel, Kali Linux. And so, again, it's a nice file carver for us. If you're not running Kali, and it's not pre-installed, you can just run a sudo app to install scalpel. But it's a file carver, right? So it can actually look through, it has sort of an internal database of those file signatures or those file headers, and it can extract matching files from whatever we give it, right? So it's going to be perfect, I think, in this case. Yeah, it was all in this unencrypted TCP stream. I don't know what like specific tool or software was used to transmit that image. But whatever it was in sort of this unencrypted stream here, which is why we were able to grab those bytes from it. All right. So let's try to use Scalpel. Let's figure out how we can actually use it. I think it uses a config file. Yeah, scalpel.conf, but where is that? Just trying to find out where it is saved by default. I guess I could search for it. Etsy, scalpel, scalpel.conf. There we go. Okay. So sudo nano Etsy scalpel. There you go. So this configuration file controls the types and sizes of files that are carved by Scalpel. Oh, for most. That's the other tool that we could use. Maybe we'll try that later. Yeah, I remember that from another CTF. I think the something in NahamCon from the other year. It used this tool to do pretty much this exact same thing. So that's why it felt familiar. And I think with Scalpel, yeah, there we go. So we just need to uncomment what we want to extract, right? So we can, it's a very powerful tool, right? It can grab PNGs, bitmaps, I think like PDFs and stuff too. Anything really. And it's really good for these packet capture scenarios where, again, we have these sort of raw bytes of an image. And then so I'll just uncomment those JPEGs there. And then save the config. And now I think we can run Scalpel here by providing it the I, or if we just run it on its own. Yeah, what's the syntax here? Oh, set an output directory for carved files. How do I specify? raw.txt, output, we'll just call it output. Whoa, that did not work. What did I do? Okay, no such file or directory. Maybe I don't put the I there. Okay, there we go. Looks like that might be working. Can we extract the image from ASCII? What do we have to convert it? Yeah, I think you can. Like I said, I think you can even run Scalpel against the pcap file itself. But I just saved out in that raw format just so we don't potentially miss anything, or if, like, you know, some special characters don't mess anything up. I don't know. It's kind of like using base 64 encoding to make sure nothing, when you transfer a file or something, it doesn't mess anything up. But I think, yeah, it would be worth trying. And, you know, maybe not doing that step, save yourself some time. But the main purpose of using CyberChef at the beginning was just to sort of demonstrate, or you know, figure out as a proof of concept if we're on the right track here, and it looks like we were. Yeah, so we uncommented both of those different JPEG headers. It looks like one of them had 0 files, the other one had 541 files, and it looks like it was able to carve those out. Sweet. So let me jump into that output directory. Audit.txt. Oh, cool. Yeah, so it grabbed all of these different files in sequential order, which is nice. So we have 500 and something of them. Cool. I'm assuming they're in this JPEG folder. Yes, there we go. So that really saved us some time, right? So, you know, we could go ahead and paste that whole stream into CyberChef, and there's probably an operation we can do to, you know, grab a file signature or something. I'm sure there's a way to basically strip out that other TCP information, so we're just left with the images. And again, maybe we could print them all out in CyberChef. But having them as a file on disk makes our lives a lot easier. So let's try to take a look at them. Right, so they're all saved in this output folder. Let me navigate over there. There we go. Perfect. Let me zoom in there. Look at that. So we were starting to get one, the flag, and now we have them all. And I get it now. It's security footage. And so this is like each frame that was sent over, right? You can see it's kind of moving as we go frame by frame. So we could, I mean, that's the flag, right? So we could, I guess, scroll down and copy each character. But let's try to have some fun with this and make a movie out of each of these frames. I've done this kind of thing before, like not for any CTF related things, but I know you can, I know there's sites out there you can paste in a bunch of frames and it'll make like an animated GIF for you. Let's try that. Image, JPEG frame to animated GIF. I'll see if this will work. Yeah, any of these should work. And then images to GIF. Let's try that. Let's just select all these. And again, I don't know if, I'm assuming, yeah, it's Scalpel that's doing this and putting them in sequential order for us, which is really nice. That makes that process so much easier. So if I select all of them, I should be able to just generate a GIF. Come on. This would be so funny if it worked. Well, I'll take a look at some pin questions while we wait. Without knowledge in blue team stuff, is SOC 101 and TCM good start? I mean, yeah, I'm obviously pretty biased there, but I think it's like the perfect start for that scenario as well. Again, kind of like the other question earlier about the PJPT, you know, the TCM courses like are really meant to walk you through from sort of that starting point until having all the knowledge you need to, you know, maybe pass the exam or just, you know, approach whatever role you might be going for, right? So obviously we have more advanced certifications as well, but or courses, but the SOC 101 in particular is really meant for, again, those sort of tier one analyst roles and picking up those blue team sort of analyst, SOC analyst fundamentals. And so I think that would be a great start. We also have the, on the free tier, like the free course we have for help desk. So I think that's a good prerequisite if you really just have no kind of like system related knowledge or you know, operating system knowledge as well. It would be a good sort of starting point if you're like really starting from nothing in IT or cybersecurity. And then you can sort of take that free course and then go into, you know, SOC 101, or if you want to go sort of the penetration testing route, you can take the practical ethical hacking course as well. So that's where it can kind of split off depending on what you want to get into. I don't know if this is going to work for us. Let me try a different site. Oh, shoot. I think my VM's frozen. Whoops. Okay, let me try to close this tab while we wait. Will bin walk work in this case? Yeah, I think it will. I think in the same sense, I think it might actually be easier. I think it can automatically detect the file headers, and we'll grab those out so we don't actually have to mess with any configuration files. So that might be another way to do it. All right, I'm hoping I can get some response back on this VM. I don't have to restart it, but I might have to. All right, let me restart that. Last time I tried to be slick. and start it back up again. What if there is a text raw file and I have to find the flag from it as a memory file? What should I use for that? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. If you mean like a memory capture, I mean, you can use something like volatility. There's a bunch of different tools for memory forensics. But in this case, like we're dealing with a packet capture, right? So it's already written to disk. If you're working with memory, yeah, again, I would recommend something like volatility or some other kind of memory forensic specific or like memory image analyzing tools. So it would really just depend on what the flag is that you're trying to find, right? Like, is it in like a process command line or is it in the registry value? Again, it would just depend on what specifically you're looking for. And Volatility has plugins for any kind of analysis you want to perform pretty much on the endpoint level. All right, let me pop this back up. We're restarting after we bricked our machine. And we'll have to look for an alternative way to create that thing. Hopefully we still have it. Output. There we go. So we still have all those images. Okay, let's try to find a proper way to do this. Linux make GIF from images. This is literally what I do. I just, I guess you could ask ChatGPT. It'll give you some advice on tools or whatever to use. Image Magic. I've used that before. I hate that tool. FMmpeg. Yeah, let's try FMpeg. Perfect. Create animated GIF from a set of JPEG images. That's exactly what we're looking for from 14 years ago. I need something that can be scripted on Windows 7. Well, this should still work for us. FMpeg, file, input for images. Is that going to work? Yeah, let's try it. Do we have it? All right, we can install it. JPEG sequence. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I think you can do that. I'm guessing through these commands here. So let's try it. We've installed FFmpeg. I'm just going to copy one of these. First, convert the images to a video. Okay, let's just grab this one. So we'll convert images from the current directory named image1, image2 to a video named video.avi. Okay, so we're in the current directory. Let me paste this in. What do we want to do? Well, let's try to do an MP4. Image %D. What does F do, though? If that's... Okay. Maybe we just read the help page. F, format. Okay. Error opening, input file, image, %d.jpg. Is that like a wildcard? Yeah. image underscore 001. Okay, so how are these named? They're just numbers. Okay, so if I just put %d.jpg. Nope. Oh, you need to have... Why is this so confusing? This has been surprisingly fun. I'll have to look into more Blue Team stuff. Yeah, I'm glad you found it fun. It is kind of a cheeky challenge, but it does use some genuine techniques, right? Like file carving and stuff like that, and working with pcaps. So I do actually enjoy it. Hopefully we can figure out how to make this, get this flag. I know the key is in specifying the name. So I don't have to rename everything. Image -%d. We're already on this one. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Frame rate doesn't really matter in this case. This determines the file name sequence it looks for. Image dash meaning, yeah. D indicates decimal integers. 5 is the number of digits. Oh, okay, so we just need to specify the number of digits. Okay, let me grab this entire thing. And then just change what we need to. So we have how many digits per image? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So we just need to put %08, I think. And then the rest of it is all gibberish. I guess it doesn't matter. There we go. It's working. Okay. It's not red, so it doesn't look like there are any errors. Do we have... Yeah, we have output.mp4. Drum roll, please. Hopefully this works. It's at the bottom. There we go. Output.mp4. Let's play it. Yes! Yes! That's so cool. There's our flag. Okay. let me get this typed into TryHackme. Oh, that's actually one of the most unique flags I've seen on the platform. That's cool. So someone literally had to sit down with a camera, it looks like a web camera, and record that. That's cool. Okay, let's try to get these side by side. Flag. I guess we'll go frame by frame here. 5 EBF 4 5 7 EA 6 6 B2 8 7 7 FD BC. Oh my gosh, the long flag. I got it. I got it first try. There we go. I think I had an extra parentheses there, but I guess it didn't matter. There we go. Well, that was pretty magic. Yeah, that was cool. That was a cool CTF there. No, this is all new. I haven't done a TryHackme room in a while. Yeah, there we go. So just as a recap, we had a packet capture file. Within that packet capture, there was a TCP stream where a host was sending a bunch of JPEG images as frames to the other host. We were able to sort of dig into that packet capture, take out the individual hex bytes from it, from the packets themselves, and basically use file carving tools to grab all of those images. We save them out to individual frames, and then we used a neat little trick to put all those frames together in a video format, which we didn't have to do. I guess we could have just copied it frame by frame, but that was much more fun. So yeah, there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a cool one. Do have a little bit of time now to wrap up with some Q&A before I have to run. So let me jump back over here. Yeah, that was a cool one. I agree. That was clean AF. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, good job, everybody. Do you have any TryHackme room or labs by you? Yeah, I mean, I used to work for TryHackme. So if you do the like the SOC level 1 and the SOC level 2 pass, yeah, I have a few rooms in those pass. There's like some threat hunting rooms. There's some log analysis and Elastic rooms as well. I saw that they repurposed one of my rooms for their SOC simulator, I think. So there's like one scenario you can do, which is I think based on some artifacts I put together for one of the rooms. So it's cool that they're I still see my stuff from time to time. How do we know which frame to start in at the pcap? Let me see if I can pull it up again. Basically, it was like the first part of the conversation. So Wireshark. Just pulling it back up for you. So basically, the conversation kind of starts with this GET request, which is the fourth packet in. Right, there's some sort of the three-way handshake going on here, but if we follow the entire stream, we can see we have the request, and then this is the first packet in that response, which contains that file header, right, for the JPEG file there. And so the rest of it just immediately follows this entire stream. And so we just saved this entire thing out to a file, and then we were able to carve based off of that. Hope that makes sense. Do want an insane level room in TryHackme? Yeah, maybe next stream. Again, I haven't done a TryHackme room in a while, so it's nice to find a fun challenge to do. Because we kind of ran out of the Blue Team Labs online stuff. There's still some Sherlocks we can do on Hack the Box, which I enjoy more, so maybe we'll do some more of those too. You arrived late. Can we have the video? Yeah, if you just check the TCM YouTube channel after the live stream, it'll be in the recent lives tab that you can go to and rewatch. Look out for more hot dog fishes. Does TCM have modules for who want to learn cyber from zero knowledge? Yeah. So I would start off with the free tier. There's like some really good core skills and core courses you can take completely for free, like the Practical Help Desk, the Linux 100, the programming course. So there's a ton that you can just start out, for completely free, and then work your way up to whatever you want to take, right? So if it's on the Blue Team side, I would recommend the SOC 101, which again really kind of starts you from zero to being having those core SOC analysis skills. There's also the practical ethical hacking course, right? If you want to do the penetration testing side. So really just depends which direction you want to go. There's some great courses all around from, specifically from TCM, but also, many different vendors, or TryHackme has some free pass as well. So you can't really go wrong these days. What do you think about Cyber Defenders Labs? I don't know if I've ever done one, and I've taken I've done the CCD, like I have the cert, and I've never done any of the labs. So I just haven't had time, I guess. Maybe we'll try to do some on stream if they have free tier ones. But yeah, like I took the certification course, and you're supposed to do labs, and I think you get extra points if you do the labs, but I just didn't have time and just took the exam. But they seem to be good, like. So hopefully, if they have like some free labs you can do outside of the certification, We can do some of those. If I want to join to get more practice, what can I do? Yeah, a bunch of different things. Like we just said, there's TryHackme has some free challenge rooms and lesson rooms. Hack the Box, Blue Team Labs Online with Security Blue Team, or Let's Defend as well. There's so many different ranges out there, and a lot of them have free rooms that you can do. If you didn't have a GUI, could you also do this with TCP dump? Yeah, I think you can. If you, yeah, you definitely can. If you filter out, you can use some of the display filters to filter out just that conversation, and then I think you can use the capital X argument with TCP dump to print out those hexadecimal bytes. So you can do that the same kind of way, and save it out to a file, or you can probably just run scalpel against again, the pcap itself. Like, you might not even need to do that intermediary step, because it is kind of smart enough to dig into a pcap, I think. There's a bunch you can do. All right, this is going to be the last question because top of the hour. And as I mentioned earlier, I have a dentist appointment that I need to go to really soon. So I need to get ready to leave for that. I will just say before I take the last question, though, just a reminder, we have the Active Directory hacking and defending class next week, which I encourage you to take if you're interested. It's a fantastic course taught by Heath Adams. Next Friday, I believe it is, on the 30th. And so just a reminder, if you do want to take that, the spots or the seats are running out. I think we have like 2 or 3 left. So just thought I'd mention that. But what do you think about labs versus real life? Labs can be fun. They can be tailored to whatever kind of learning environment you want. So I think they're a very useful tool. But it is really hard to replicate real life and real life kind of enterprise environments in labs alone, right? That was one of the struggles I've always had, being someone that built CTFs and different lab machines and cyber ranges, right? So it is always hard building something realistic and also applicable to specific learning objectives, right? Because in real life, it's not always simple, right? For threat hunting, for example, someone should build a threat hunting room where you don't find anything, right? To make it really realistic, right? You start out with a hypothesis, but there's just nothing in the data. And so you just waste your time. So that, the realities of real life can be sometimes in contrast with learning objectives from a cyber range, for example, or labs. So there is a balance there, I think. But labs are like the best way you can sort of prepare for the real life experience, in my opinion. Thanks so much. Loving the SOC 101 course. Appreciate that. And so with that, thank you, everyone. Sorry I didn't get to everyone's question today. Again, completely forgot I have a dentist appointment in like 20 minutes. So I have to run, but thank you all. Be sure to tune in next Wednesday. We'll have another stream. We do this every Wednesday. If you do have any lingering questions, you can head over to the TCM Discord and we'll do what we can to get those answered. Feel free to hop in anytime and just chat. And so with that, have a great rest of your week, everyone. And I will see you another time, maybe next week.